After creating over 100 different digital products, it's safe to say that I've learned a thing or two about what actually makes them sell. And that's exactly what I'm gonna be sharing in this video. If you're new here, hi, I'm Molly. I started as a broke college dropout with just 81 cents to my name, and I leveraged that into a multiple six-figure per year photography studio. Then I started creating content for other photographers, and I grew that into a $2 million per year online education business. And now I help content creators just like you to monetize your following with digital info products so you can help your followers on a deeper level and make a full-time living doing what you love. So yes, it's true. I really have created over 100 different digital products. And on one hand, no, I would not recommend that. But on the other hand, it has made me learn a lot about digital products so that I can share a lot with you. So that's good. But here's the cool thing. You do not need to create 100 or more different digital products to be successful. All it takes is one digital product that sells, and then to keep sending consistent traffic to that digital product to continue to get consistent passive sales. That said, I'm sure you can imagine after creating so many different digital products, I've learned a lot about what makes them sell or what really doesn't work to make them sell. So I'm gonna share a little bit with you about what products sold the best, what products didn't really sell, and what strategies worked and what strategies didn't. So one of my very first digital products was a posing guide. So this was a list of different poses and how to do them. And this was of course for photographers because that was my first ideal client for my first business. And with that posing guide, I didn't really know what I was doing. The guide itself, I'm sure was good, but I didn't really know what I was doing when it comes to sales. So all I did was I simply put it up on my website. And I got a few sales, but as you can imagine, it wasn't that many sales. It was literally like a handful of sales, and the sales were not consistent. I didn't really have a strategy. So the lesson that I learned there is that just simply putting something on your website is not a strategy, especially if you do not have consistent traffic going to that website. Because the bottom line is that if people are not consistently seeing your offer, aka your digital product, then there's no way that people can consistently be buying your digital product. Does that make sense? I also saw a lot of people at the time on their website, they had a section called like boutique, and it had a lot of different digital templates and things. And so I thought,
well, I'm gonna create a boutique.
Because again, I didn't really have a lot of experience. I was simply just looking at what other people were doing, right? And so I created a digital boutique for photographers. So what this entailed was I essentially had like album templates, Photoshop presets, just a lot of like really little digital products that were more like templates. And those also never really sold that well. I did make some sales from them, but they were far from my top sellers. And I think a number of things is, number one, I just created a spot on my website and I just put them up there. And I never really took the time to actually promote them or send traffic to them. So kind of like my lesson with the first digital product that I talked about. But I think another lesson is that although yes, those templates did solve a problem for my ideal clients, they did not solve a painful problem, and they did not solve a high value problem. So for example, yes, I'm sure having a template so that photographers can put together albums for their clients more easily might be worth a little bit of money to them. Maybe they're willing to drop, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 bucks to save themselves some time in their album creation process. However, it's not really a high value problem. Nowadays, especially, they can use things like Canva. They can, of course, do it themselves. But the much bigger problem they were having was actually getting clients, actually getting sales. So when I went ahead and started to create digital products around that, like my model call ebook that made over $500,000 with no ads, you can see the difference in how important it is that you're solving not only a really painful problem, but also a high value painful problem. So again, sure, some photographers might need some templates and maybe they'll pay 30, 40, 50 bucks. Some of them might sell. I might get a handful of sales, right? But if I really take the time to actually find out what's their really, really painful high value problem and I solve that, then not only can I charge more for my digital product, but I'm going to make a lot more sales more easily as well. So those were some big lessons for me too. I think I've talked about this one in the past, but my very first online course was for photographers and it was called Bootylicious Business Camp. Yes, huge fan of Destiny's Child, leave me alone. But anyways, the course never really sold that well. It was kind of like pulling teeth to get sales. And so if you feel like that with one of your digital products or courses, it might just not be aligned properly. So the very first course that I created, it was all about things like business and how to hire an accountant and how to legally set up your business. It was just like a lot of businessy things. And what I learned was that yes, this was a problem, and yes, I made some sales, but it was really hard to get those sales. And when I created a course around getting more clients and getting more sales, which once I dove in was the more painful problem, that course also sold really easily. I was able to charge more for it. So I think you're probably starting to see a pattern here that it really is so important for you to take the time to make sure that your digital product is truly aligned with not just a problem that your followers are having, but the most painful and high value problem that they are going to want to solve now, and they are going to want to pay to solve. Because that's gonna be the difference between it being hard to get sales and it being easy to get sales. But of course, like the first takeaway I shared, you're going to need a strategy that's more in depth than just putting it on your website. So you might be wondering, okay, Molly, what is a better sales strategy than just putting it on my website? There are so many and too many to cover in just this video, but one, for example, would be how I sell digital products via YouTube. So what I do is I simply put out free helpful content 1 to 2 times every single week. And then I mention a freebie in the description below. So there's literally tons of freebies in the description right now. There is a freebie for a done for you funnel, so you can move your followers to email subscribers. So you can go download that right now. There's also a freebie on 54 different types of digital products, so you can find the right type of digital product to sell for you. And that is found in the link below as well. So what I do is, again, I create content that I mention my freebies. When people sign up for a freebie, they put in their name and email address, so they get the freebie and they also get on my email list. And then I use automated emails to nurture and also to invite people into my programs, and that's how I make sales. And again, that's just one strategy of many. But the truth is that it comes down to a lot of people seeing your offer. You need to get eyeballs on your offer. So unless your website has a high consistent stream of traffic and people are truly seeing your offer all the time, then you can look at the data and say, okay, based on 100 eyeballs on my offer, I haven't made any sales. Maybe I need to upgrade my offer or my product, or it's not positioned correctly. Or maybe you get 100 eyeballs on your offer / product and you do get sales. And then you're like, okay, cool. Now it's just a math equation. I just need to get more traffic so I can get more sales. Marketing at its very basic comes down to getting people in front of your offer. And whether that's sending traffic through YouTube or blogging or Instagram or TikTok, it doesn't matter, but you need to be sending the right traffic to your offer and then reviewing the data to see how it converts. So I know I just shared a lot with you and you might be feeling overwhelmed, but the good news is that I have boiled this down to a 3-part framework that is what I found over the years helps digital products sell better. Okay, so the first part of the 3-part framework is ensuring that the digital product you want to sell is aligned with your audience. The second part of the 3-part framework is ensuring that your digital product solves a really painful problem. The third part of the 3-part framework is ensuring that your digital product solves a high value problem that people are willing to pay for. And a bonus part of this framework that helps digital products sell better is to use testimonials from your students. And if you don't have testimonials yet, use your story, use your testimonial. We all start in the beginning with no testimonials, but you will grow them over time. And if you're watching this video and you're like, I want to grow my email list more, I want to have more consistent traffic so that I can get more consistent sales with my digital products, or you don't have a digital product yet and you want 54 different ideas for digital products so that you can find the one that's best for you, go in the description below and download my freebies as my gift to you. Okay, so the first part of the framework is making sure that your audience is aligned with your offer / digital product. And how do you do that? Well, I want to talk to you that it is all about surveys and actually talking to your audience, right? So the best way to go about this is to grow a following and get about 100 to 500 or more people on your email list. So as you grow your following, you're promoting your freebies, you're getting people on your email list. Then once you have about 100 to 500 or more people on your email list, you can send out a survey. You can start to ask these people, what are your struggles? What are your goals? What is life gonna be like once you hit those goals? What are the the number one struggles right now in your life, your business, your running, whatever the niche is, and truly find out what that struggle is. Now, spoiler alert, there are 3 main niches: health, wealth, and relationships. So depending on what niche you're in, their problems are probably going to be around one of those 3 things. Okay, so once you do the survey, you're going to have a list of all the different painful problems that your ideal clients are having. And now it's up to you to figure out which ones can you solve based on your experience and expertise, and which ones are going to be the most high value, which ones are going to be the most painful, the most urgent, the ones that people are really going to want to pay to solve. That's gonna be the one that you wanna go with, and you want to narrow it down to 1 to start. And the next part of the framework was ensuring that it's a high value problem, which I feel like we just kind of talked about. So really narrowing down those problems and picking one that you know is a painful problem, an urgent problem, and a high value problem. And let's say right now, for example, you are a graphic designer and you have a graphic design business, but let's say it's not doing like super well, right? And you know that the problem that your clients are having, they're having a problem of just like being a better designer, they're having a problem of getting clients, and they're having a problem of like making a lot of money in your business. Well, maybe you're not at a point yet where you can teach them the highest value problem, and that's okay. You can start with one of the lower ones, and then maybe one day you do grow your graphic design business to 6 figures or multiple 6 figures, and then you can go on to teaching that, and it will just get easier and be more profitable for you. So again, just because you can't teach that highest value thing now doesn't mean you can't start with something lower and transition into that. I hope that makes sense. And then of course, the bonus is to use testimonials to get sales. So again, in the very beginning, you're not gonna have student testimonials yet. That's okay, neither did I. And you're gonna wanna start out with you as the testimonial, with your story. And that's why it's important that you are actually qualified to teach these things, because you need to be the proof for your offer. And if you are qualified, then you will have the proof. So where should you use these testimonials? You can use them on your checkout page, your social media posts, your description, your website. There's lots of different places you can use them. And social media, social proof really does help get a lot more sales, because people want to make sure that they're not the guinea pig. They want to make sure that there are other people that have gone before them that have had success. Now, can you get sales without having student testimonials in the beginning? Of course. Again, we all start that way. Just start out sharing your story and your testimony. If you've gotten 1 gold nugget or more out of this video, go ahead, give this a like, a subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because I put out new videos just like this one 1 to 2 times every single week. And now that you know some of the things that help make digital products sell, you might be wondering how you can create your own digital product and how you can create it faster using things like AI. But how do you do that? Well, it all starts with watching this video next here, because when you pair what you just learned with what's in this video, it's gonna be so much more powerful. See you in the next video.